know if people really understand this, but how you finish out this year is going to determine how you begin the next year. And so you need to be very strategic about how you finish. A lot of people are just in relaxation mode. They're not doing anything for the year, and they're making all these great mantras and statements, but you don't have a framework. How are you going to be successful? How is your life going to be differently? It's not going to be differently because you said it's going to be differently. It's not going to be different because you're enthusiastic or you're excited or you have some good emotions. It's going to be different because you designed it to be different. Write that down. Your life is going to be different because you designed it to be different. And so I believe that this is such an important time and such an important moment for all of us to begin to understand that we got to take advantage of the moments that we have left in this year, and we have to use those moments to the best of our advantage if we want to see results and progress and transformation in our lives. I want you to also understand that your life does not change because of good intentions or optimism. I meet people all the time. They have the best of intentions. They're very optimistic, but you don't change your life by optimism. You change your life through intentionality and clarity. And so I talk to people all the time, and they mean well, but I know right off the bat that they're not going to do anything meaningful or purposeful with their life because it's just an optimism. It's a hope. It's a desire. There's no action. There's no execution. There's no strategy. There's no plan. There's no momentum. It's just talking. And we shouldn't waste our words if we're not going to marry our words with action. You got to put action and feet to your vision if you want to see that thing become a reality in your life. Usually this is the point in the year where I set aside quality time for assessment. Some people are like they're done for the year. They're going into vacation mode and cruise control. Well, for me, this is a time of great assessment. And let me say this. It's not just assessment in one area, but you need to assess all of your life because at the end of the day, if we're only making progress in an area and we're failing miserably in all the other areas, we're not really succeeding. And if you follow me and you know I'm really big on this method of empowerment, the method of empowerment is a method that requires us to take personal responsibility for our lives, and the method of empowerment is about wholeness. It's not about compartmentalization. It's not about segmented or selective success or selective change. This is about integrating the paradigm into your life that's going to cause you to prosper spirit, soul, body in every dimension and facet of your life. And a lot of people don't like to hear the word assessment. We don't like it. I know in school when I heard assessment, it meant a test was coming. I was going to be tested on my knowledge or my competency in a certain skill or objective. So we don't like the word assessment. We like to throw around the cute motivational and inspirational terms, but those terms are not what are going to produce the transformation in your life. And let me say this. One of the reasons that I distance myself from the coaching and the self-help space is because a lot of disservice has been done to humanity. People have been taught that all they need is positive thoughts and positive words, and everything about their life is going to change. And then when somebody like me starts talking about personal responsibility and assessment, they give you these bewildered looks like it doesn't make sense. But at the end of the day, my life didn't change because of positive thoughts or positive words. It changed because I was willing to do certain work to get my life from where it was to where I wanted it to be. And it takes even more work for me to get to the next place that I want to be. And so we can't sell people a false message. We have to let people know that, yes, it's good to have inspiration and motivation, but as I always tell my mentees and clients and people that work with me, you're not inspired 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. So what happens when the inspiration wears off? What is going to keep you going? I'm going to tell you what keeps me going. When inspiration and motivation wears off, I have discipline. I have execution. I have strategy. And so most people, because they're emotional, the minute they don't feel inspired or motivated, everything in their life stops. Their goals stop, their vision stop, their dreams stop, their momentum stop. The first time somebody says no, the first time they're rejected, the first time a door closes, first time they don't get the right opportunity, first time they don't get into the right circle or the right room, they give up. They abandon the dream. They forfeit what's possible for their lives. They squander their potential because everything is based around motivation. Well, you got to have some discipline and some execution in your life, even when you don't feel motivated, because I guarantee you that when you go into 2024, you're not going to always feel motivated. So what is going to keep you on the course to seeing your goals and your vision become a reality? I can't stay there. And so assessment for a lot of people brings up feelings of failure and regret. And however, as a high achiever, I can tell you that you will never accelerate your life without assessment. And so a lot of people are stuck. They're stuck between a hope and a promise. They're stuck between a vision and a conflicting reality. They're stuck between a possibility and a prison of limitations, or whatever they're stuck between. But what I know is that you cannot accelerate your life without assessment, and anything that you want to see happen or accomplish in your life is going to require assessment. Every great business assesses. Every great organization assesses. Every great corporate board or governance committee assesses. Every great relationship assesses. Every great philanthropic initiative assesses. Every great sports team or franchise assesses. You cannot achieve anything great in your life without taking the time to assess your life. In fact, anything that you refuse to assess, you are ultimately accepting. So a lot of us are like, 2024 is going to be my year. How? How will it be your year? It won't be your year just because you said it's your year. It won't be your year just because you've affirmed it as your year. It won't be your year just because you're feeling optimistic. It's the holidays and you're in a good spirit. What happens when your mood changes and your attitude changes? Are you still going to be committed to the things you say you're committed to? And so anything you refuse to assess, you're ultimately accepting. So if you're not even going to take the time to assess your life, assess your results, assess your productivity and priorities, you're already accepting a mediocre, second-rate version of your life for 2024. And I know that sounds a little harsh, but it's just the truth, because nobody wants to have these kind of conversations. We just want to tell people happy thoughts and positive words and positive vibes, and all of that sounds good. But at the end of the day, if you are not assessing your life, making adjustments to your life, taking certain actions, nothing about your life is going to change, and your life is going to continue to be a repeat of every other year before in every other cycle. What you accept, you will never alter. So there are things that you have accepted about your life that you're not going to alter. So that's why assessment is important, because you have to begin to look at your life, scrutinize your life, dissect your life, and you've got to begin to realize what's working, what's not working, and what adjustments and changes need to be made. Assessment gives us the opportunity to evaluate our productivity, to track our performance, and to scrutinize our results. Let me say it again. Assessment gives us the opportunity to evaluate our productivity, track our performance, and scrutinize our results. So just based on that definition that I just gave you, have you taken time come to the end of the juncture of this year to evaluate your productivity, track your performance, or scrutinize your results? Well, as somebody that has mentored and advised and trained and developed people over the years, I can tell you most people are not thinking about this. They're thinking about Christmas. They're thinking about what they're going to get for Christmas, who they get shop for. They're thinking about their resolutions for next year. Nobody, hardly anybody, is thinking about evaluating productivity, tracking performance, scrutinizing results. It's not even top of mind. It's not even in sight for most people. And unfortunately, a lot of people get to the end of the year